What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am, and today I've got a story about a Karen that allegedly ended up trying to steal her neighbor's car and sell it for scrap. I just thought it was a crazy story, so yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Allegedly, by the way.
Nice rack and her ass Brazilian. Just turned 21, but my bank's $1 million.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as y'all know, I've had my fair share of experiences with crazy neighbors. That being said, no one ever stole my car and tried to sell it for scrap metal, but I guess down in Florida that's something you've got to be worried about, because of course this had to happen in Florida. St. Pete woman arrested for selling neighbor's car for scrap, affidavit says. I just really don't know how this is one of those crimes you think you're gonna get away with, right? Like, okay, if you really think you're gonna get away with a bank robbery, chances are you're not, but I could understand why you would, want to do that. I really have no idea why you would ever think stealing your neighbor's car and selling it for scrap was gonna be a good idea, though. I never understand how you would make that connection. Especially your neighbor's car, dude. Don't they always say don't return to the scene of the crime or whatever? Well, you're literally mandated to return to the scene of the crime because it's where you sleep every night. It also probably wasn't very hard for him to figure out who took it, because I'm going to assume if you're deciding to steal your neighbor's car and sell it for scrap that you already don't get along. Chances are you've already been in a lot of fights if you're willing to steal their car and sell it behind their back, right? So it's not like it's hard for him, the cops. Is there anyone you could think that might want to steal your car or mess with you? And you're like, yep, probably my neighbor, because she does this all the time. Rosalie Baker, 55, of St. Petersburg, allegedly tried to sell her neighbor's 2001 BMW and 2000 Ford F-150 to a scrapyard in Hillsborough County, according to an affidavit from the SPPD. Baker allegedly took the car and truck and contacted the buyer from Small Planet Recycling LLC. She pretended to be the owner and sell the vehicles for scrap, and Baker was arrested on Thanksgiving. This is definitely up there as one of those things where, it just not very well thought through, too. Two cars? You go to steal one car from your neighbor, maybe they'll be like, oh my gosh, some crazy person was in the neighborhood and stole my car. If you take both of their cars, man, that's just a little bit too suspect that it was an inside job. You know what I mean? One car gets stolen, crime does happen, I guess. It's pretty rare. Both cars in one night, alright, somebody definitely set you up, bro. Either that or you've got a Fast and Furious ring running around St. Petersburg, and I don't think Dominic Toretto and the gang are down there stealing whips. Could you imagine, dude, it ends up that Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel's been a method actor for a really long time, and he actually does have, this insane, super elite car stealing ring that goes around Florida and steals stuff and then blames it on random people nearby. Yeah, she had to take the fall for us, but that's just what I gotta do to protect my family. And then he skirts out of there in, the 2001 BMW. I love BMWs, dude, so this makes me especially sad, man. I'm just hoping that it didn't end up getting scrapped. That would be the worst part of all of this, though. You try to steal your neighbor's car, that already sucks. Having your car stolen really sucks. Finding out that your car got stolen and they took it somewhere where it was literally destroyed has to be the ultimate worst thing ever. Getting your car back after it's stolen, I'm sure still sucks. It's the best way you could end, right? Other than not getting your car. Finding out that the person took your car to a place just to purposely get it destroyed, oh, that has to be the most ego-crushing thing of all time. And it takes a special type of evil to do that too, if you're gonna commit to stealing cars allegedly, then you might as well just sell them to somebody for more money. I'm gonna guess you would be able to get more money selling a car that works to somebody who's gonna buy it to drive it than you would from just some scrap heap yard where they're just gonna destroy the car. From what I understand, there's a reason that scrap yards, tend to pay bottom dollar for stuff. It's because cars really aren't valuable once they've been crushed up comparatively to when they're working. They're still worth something, but it's not every day where you have a situation where someone's willing to pay $2,000 for just a hunk of metal. Well, maybe with inflation, you never know. Anyways, back to the Karen. According to St. Petersburg police, Baker and a representative from Small Planet completed a bill of sale, a derelict motor vehicle form, and a request to cancel a title for the BMW, and she did the same for a silver Ford F-150. However, she gave her Florida ID number and a thumbprint on the cancel title form and then got $300 for each car. The car and truck were then towed to a salvage yard where they were listed as stolen while in the yard's possession, the affidavit states, and due to the location, the Hillsborough County Sheriff was notified of the stolen vehicles. A latent fingerprint was confirmed by a fingerprint examiner according to police, and the owners of the BMW and F-150 intend to press charges. Man, all of this for $600, bro? Call me crazy. Like, I don't know if I'm just dramatically out of touch, but it just doesn't seem worth stealing 2 cars for my neighbor for $600. I'm not saying that's a small amount of money, right? But you gotta think about the fact that you might be getting charged with 2 counts of Grand Theft Auto here, if this is true. All of this is still alleged, but like, this just doesn't seem worth the trade-off for 600 buckaroonies. I just want to know the backstory to this feud, bro. If this really was move number 1, then this is one ballsy Karen for sure. Like, allegedly, if this is the first thing in your feud, you know, just straight to taking his cars to the scrapyard, then my goodness, dude, could you imagine how out of hand this would have gotten if, like, it would have escalated? If this was step 1, which I'm hoping it's not, then, like, by step 9, dude, they're just basically trying to sell each other's houses with mortgage fraud. That's a joke. Seriously, though, I just don't understand why people are out there trying to steal from your neighbor. That's just a risky play there. Stealing in general, not very swag, not a fan. But especially from your neighbor, man. Like, if you're not gonna have people feeling safe in their own home, then, my goodness, that's just not very swag-tastic of you. This guy is now looking out in his driveway like every 15 minutes just to make sure the cars are still there. Baker was arrested on 6 charges. She faces 2 counts of felony dealing in stolen property, 2 counts of felony false verification of ownership, and 2 counts of felony grand theft of a motor vehicle. Bond was assessed at $130,000 according to Pinellas County records. Dude, what is going on in Florida? Like, why is it always Florida? You know, I'm not trying to generalize them too much. I know there's a lot of good people in Florida. I just feel like for every good person in Florida, you have, like, someone that's trying to allegedly sell their neighbor's car for scrap. It's just something about that peninsula, man. What is it? Peninsulas just make people the crazy come out, you know? I'm just glad he got the cars back before they got scrapped. Like, if this takes a couple more hours for him to report it, if he was on vacation or something, there's a pretty good chance that, like, he gets his cars back in little blocks. And I'm sure Minecraft is definitely not as fun when you only have 2 blocks and they used to be cars that you own. I'm sure that's not a very fun experience. I wouldn't necessarily know. I've never played that game, but I'm gonna guess it's not that lit. Seriously though, moral of the story, don't steal your neighbor's car allegedly, and apparently don't also sell it for scrap. It's just not a very neighborly thing to do, even if you're not a fan of your neighbor. Certain things don't need to be done, like taking cars. It's also just not worth it because now you've got like 6 charges and all of them are felony counts of dealing in stolen property, false verification, and Grand Theft Auto. So even if you really hate your neighbor, don't ruin your life over it. Anyways, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I'd really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought, and of course, subscribe if you're new and turn on those notifications. If you really want to help me out, I'll put a link to the intro song down below, along with a link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cast, and of course, you could use code Scrubae at the G Fuel checkout. That's a great way to get a discount on G Fuel and help me out. I'd appreciate it. And last but certainly not least, 2 things to plug. First things first, I gotta give a shout out to the Storytime Spotify. If you guys want to check that out, I'll put a link in the description. You can check that out, listen offline. And other than that, I've got the Karen Christmas sweater merch, which may be the coolest merch to ever exist in history. That link's at the top of the description. Be sure to check it out. I'd appreciate it. And yeah, on that note, guys, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. And hopefully I'll see you guys all next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.